Welcome back to Tag Team, the Pokemon Trading Card Games premier podcasting duo. My name is JW Kriewall, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Andrew Mahone. Andrew, how are you?
I'm chilling, man. Doing well. It's been one of those sick weeks here in the Mahone household, but not for me. Natalie got super ill with the stomach flu on Monday, and now our son got super ill today and projectile vomited sour milk all over me this morning. Yeah. But thankfully, it's just like a 24-hour thing. Like, Natalie was like having a real tough time on Monday, but like, you know, it was pretty much solid by Tuesday. And our son seems to be bouncing back already, so that's good.
Great to hear.
But I had this on Thanksgiving, and this was like unlike anything that I'd ever had before. It just hit me like a bus, and like I was just completely incapacitated, shivering, chills, and just vomiting. Anything that touched my stomach, I was just, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's just a lot of fun here this week when it comes to reversals, I guess. But other than that, things are going well. Did my first tabletop testing with Jesse for post-rotation. We're going to be really getting on the grind weekly now, like weekly testing sessions.
Okay.
Kind of retooling the formula for our tabletop testing sessions, where before I was having us like very strictly kind of like make sure that we were announcing our plays and stuff like that, and trying to mostly emulating the Japanese tabletop gameplay channels, where like they just kind of like play card, show card, and it's just like in the video ends up being like the action of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But having done like a bunch of those now, I feel like that's not actually that interesting.
Right.
Just kind of showing what the deck does. It's more interesting to talk about like the decks on a conceptual level, and kind of focus the content more on Jesse and I's personalities instead.
Right.
And so like I kind of had this idea that I would turn our tabletop series into like a Mythbusters TV show, where, you know, like the concept of Mythbusters is that there's like a myth, right? And then they see whether or not the myth is legit, right?
Okay.
And they do some testing and they figure it out, and then they like, you know, and they bust the myth, or the myth is legit. So like for us, like conceptually, the myths are deck lists from Japan, you know, funny deck lists, decks, things like that, and we're gonna test them and then see if they're legit or not, and give our opinions on them.
Jesse messaged me after the session. He says he still thinks Dragapult is broken.
It is. It's very broken. Yeah. Yes, Dragapult's insane. And that's like what we're getting from Japan as far as the tier lists and stuff go. So like I've got, so Jesse and I our tabletop streams are going to be much more casual, like not casual in that they're like competitively casual. They're going to be very competitive. Like we're trying to beat each other, trying to like play the best games that we can, but they're going to be more conversational and more like we're testing in our living room at home, and like the pop-offs, the reactions, and the things like that are going to be what I like kind of chop up into like the video, with like kind of like an overarching narrative of us trying to like get to the bottom of this new deck and see if it's legit or not. And then at the end of every YouTube cut, there's going to be like Jesse and I kind of determining where we determining where we think the deck ends up on like a tier list.
Sure.
And I have like a cork board. I'm gonna have a physical tier list, and we're gonna like pin the card to like where it goes, and we adjust it week in and week out, and you know, say like, oh well, these are the best decks. In this deck is probably here because it doesn't really compete with these, and you just, it's like a living thing, and you just like, you know, and if something ever needs adjusted, it's like we don't just, you know, place the deck that we're doing like this week. We could be like, this deck actually ended up being a lot better than we thought. Like we're gonna bump this one up a notch, you know, and kind of just have this like recurring thing. Recurring prop that we use kind of like throughout our videos.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like I'm trying to just go like a new direction with it. So excited about that. And yeah, yeah, I also working on a new YouTube video where I create my own perfect celebration set, 30th anniversary celebration set.
Dude, let's freaking go. Okay.
Yeah, so like my top 10 cards that need to be reprinted or whatever in celebration. So I kind of like, narrate all those and talk about it.
Let me see. Can I guess? Can I try to guess like one of those? Because it's not released yet.
You could
right?
guess one. It's not released yet. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like are you limiting it to just Pokemon?
No.
Okay. So you're saying there could be a supporter or trainer or stadium.
I would go as far as to say that there absolutely are supporters and trainers on there, yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I mean, if we're talking about like now I'm trying to get in your headspace because I would say maybe like Gust of Wind would be a fun reprint because that's like the OG
is a fun
OP
reprint.
Card, right?
Yeah, it is a fun reprint. It's not on my
So
list.
that's on the
it's
list.
A fun reprint though.
Okay, what about
I do have a Haymaker card on my list though.
Okay, what about Broken?
Because they didn't do any
Space?
Haymaker cards. They didn't do any Haymaker cards in the original celebrations, but I think that deserves a shout. So,
what about Broken Time Space?
That is also not on the list. I can't believe, but I have a different stadium on the list, and I can't believe you didn't guess it.
Parallel City.
Oh my gosh, you're just swinging and missing. You're like
Tropical Beach. I don't know.
Yes, it's
okay.
Beaches. That's the one gimme I'll give you. Is beaches on the beaches on the list.
Right. Well, it's not even like that fair because it's just literally a shill for GLC.
No, it was an expensive card in Expanded. If anybody ever wants to play Expanded, like Beach is a card that could be theoretically played in Expanded. So, and it's the most expensive card in the Expanded card pool. So, like, you just have to reprint it at a certain point, right? Like, people play Expanded in Japan. It is a good card. Like, you will inevitably, they should reprint Beach. Like, my take is that they should reprint Beach into Standard.
Into Standard?
With a new artwork.
Okay, I was thinking you were going to say they reprint it under a different name. So Tropical Beach maintains its like special identity.
Sure, whatever. I mean, like they could do that, right? They did that halfway with Jubilite Village almost, but that was a flop. Nah, I think they should reprint Beach. All right, and last thing before we get to you, because I'm going to ask you how you're doing, but inevitably that's going to lead into EUIC. So like,
yes,
I'm getting all my stuff out now.
Exactly,
because then we're going on the JW.
Then it's the me show.
He's going to weave us a tale about how EUIC went. Another really cool thing. So I am actually Natalie and I are going to be going to New York City to attend. Yeah, man.
The Pokemon Day ceremony?
Yes.
In February?
Day celebration. The Pokemon Day celebration that's being hosted
February
by
27th.
eBay.
Oh.
There's a Pokemon Day celebration hosted by eBay.
Oh.
We're going to New York City to participate
what
in
day
that.
Is that?
It's Saturday, the 28th or whatever.
27th, 28th?
Friday and Saturday.
You didn't even tell me, bro.
Well, it just all kind of came together.
Like today?
And you were in London. I mean, you were in London when it was all coming together.
It came together and you couldn't send me a message.
I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
We haven't talked.
Okay.
I'm telling you right this second.
So you're staying at the house or at the apartment?
No, because they're comping my hotel. Like, there's a hotel right on top of the. Yes, dude, they're paying like.
So I'm staying at your hotel.
But yes, we'd love to see you.
Of course. Why did you have to come at the worst possible time for New Jerseyans to get to New York City? They're doing like all this construction on the train lines. And so for literally the next month, it like started the beginning of this week and it's going for 1 month. It's like impossible to get in. But I could go to Hoboken and take the path in and then, we could make it work. Just let me know. I think I am. I'm theoretically free that day. So
oh, nice. Well, that's awesome. Yes. So there's like this this like Pokemon Day celebration. eBay's like hosting. They're like advertising their eBay Live function, right? Which is like this. It's basically like Whatnot.
Whatnot.
It's like eBay's version of Whatnot, right? Like where you do live auctioning and stuff. But it actually like makes sense on eBay because they're an auction platform. So like, sure, some sellers can be live while they're auctioning things. Okay, and like it does seem kind of like a natural progression of the website. So so they're advertising that they're like auctioning off Pokemon stuff all day, but they're actually doing like a game show thing, and it's like this game show stream. It's gonna be hosted by some like big names in like the gaming, the Pokemon gaming community, and like they're having personalities come on and like participate in the game show, and I'm gonna be one of those people. I have like a 45-minute segment, and we're gonna be auctioning off stuff like based on how well I perform. Like if I perform super well in the game show, then things get auctioned off like really cheap. That's like kind of the gimmick of it. Okay. And then also I am auctioning off 3 items from my personal Pokemon journey for charity during the thing.
Whoa, dude.
Yes. So like I have like a 2015 World's Pikachu plush, like, and it's all going towards like a charity thing. So like it's just kind of like a fun Pokemon Day celebration thing. They paid my way out and
so is there a live audience?
An appearance fee. No, it's all being streamed on eBay Live.
Yeah, in front of a live studio audience.
No, there's not a live studio audience though.
Well, then how am I going to watch it live?
It's like one of the things is that it's like, I'd hate
the thing is that the thing is that no one
activity, not a you activity.
The thing is that no one can participate, no one can see. Okay, interesting. Interesting.
Well, Natalie's going to be joining me, but I'm only going to be on the show for 45 minutes.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So Natalie will be able to see it live. So that means that
maybe
people will be able to see it live.
Yeah, I could probably get you back there. I could probably I could probably pull a couple of strings. Like we'll see what we can do,
No, I'm just messing with you. We'll just like get dinner or something. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah,
just
sounds
Let me know
lovely.
what you're. Let me know what you're. Yeah,
that
let me know
lovely.
what's going on. Let me know the schedule, and
sure.
I'll have I'll have my people call your people, and we'll get things moving.
All right. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, dude.
Yes, that's all on the agenda. That's all happening. So tell us about EUIC London, Mr. Top 128. EUIC, not bad.
Top 128 merchant.
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's really not bad.
It's not bad. I looked at the day 2 results expecting to like flame you, and I couldn't. I was like, top 128. It's very respectable. So like,
it's kind of a bummer.
Bad.
I think for my wife because it was
because you get no cash.
I know. Well, I was 1 win away from cash, and then I had a good enough performance that it's very realistic. Like the World's Invite is very realistic now. And we can talk a little bit about that. But yeah, so I was 1 win away from a cash finish. I finished top 128. And it was just a weird tournament overall. You can see 9-2-3 was my record. This is my training court .app profile for this tournament. A few things I want to highlight. I won't go over every round, but I maintain this streak between this tournament and Toronto. So I played Gardevoir with Drifloon, the same list that I brought to Toronto. And I just want to highlight that I am undefeated against decks with dark attackers in them. Okay? So I went undefeated against I played like 5 Charizards in Toronto. I beat all those. I played 2 Charizards here at EUIC. Beat those. And then I went 1-1, 1-0-1 against the Absol box deck and felt frankly like pretty good in that matchup. Started out 4-0. I was feeling
losing to.
What's that?
I said, then what the heck are you losing to, bro?
I'm saying I think the deck is great. I think the deck is really, really strong. And I like that there's I think there's maybe an argument against Drifloon. Like a lot of the straight guardy players, the top straight guardy players, don't play Drifloon but I find it's really good against the dark matchups, which is why I include it, right? It's like super good against Charizard. It has some use against Absol. I just think it's a strong card overall. So I ended up actually third round was kind of interesting. I lost first game, won the second game, and then I was like playing really quick because like maybe there's really no way if I can get out multiple Pokemon for me to, or for the opponent to donk me, but it's like very reasonable against the Absol box, you know, to attack 2 or 3 times and win the game. So I'm like really shuffling up fast to play a third game. We maybe have like 5 minutes left or something. And my opponent forces me to go first. And so I have like Monkey Dory Ralts or something. And then I pass it to his turn. And he has Yveltal active. And he just goes, attach like a mist energy or something, pass. And I'm like, what? And then it passes back to my turn. I like top deck the rare candy that I need to go rare candy Guardy and, you know, Ultra Ball away 2 Psychics and take the donk, which was pretty amazing. So 3-0.
Bruh.
It was crazy. I donked an Absol box deck. It was awesome.
Hold on. What am I looking at on your screen? I'm like trying to look at your screen and it's just showing me like a meta breakdown or something, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you have your matches up?
Yeah, this is my matches.
Yeah, but wait, what's your?
That's when I play the Absol box deck. Round number 3.
No, I see like a meta breakdown.
You see a meta
like
break. Hold on. Let me stop my. Hold on. This is gonna interrupt everything. Hold on. Let me share. Change stream. Let me do. You're so high maintenance. How about that?
Dude, well, now I can follow along. I was having a really hard time following along before. Like I'm like but like no visuals, bro. Like
okay. Well, anyway, that was round number 3. Round number 4. Won that pretty handily, and then I played a UK fella. And ended up taking a hard L. The first game here in round number 5, I prized all 3 Ralts, which is generally not what people complain about when playing Gardevoir, right? They're usually like, oh, I prized my, 2 Curly or I prized my 2 Gardevoir. But no, I actually prized all 3 Ralts. I did manage to take a prize with my Pheasantipity, which I started. I mean, it was just a nightmare game. I started Pheasantipity and prized 3 Ralts. I did manage to take a prize, but at that point it was curtains. And then round 6, I should have lost this game if we had one more turn. I would have lost. I played a Japanese player, but I was able to snag a tie. And then in round 7, I just played like a weird stall deck. It used Sudowoodo and Nacli, and they had Pidgeot. And the big card that was the swing in game 1 was the Melodic. So in my deck, I played Turo, and I just like wasn't able to recycle energy. So they stall you out with the Sudowoodo. They have the fan on the Sudowoodo, so they'll like bring up something that can't knock out a Sudowoodo in one hit, like a Monkey Dory. They'll attach the fan, and then it just gets really awkward from there. Round number 8. Probably should not have won this round. But this was the winning in. I played a relatively newer player. I'd been playing a couple years. Really good, tight player, and definitely knew their lines, except when it got to the end game. We were running close to time. And obviously a tie does neither of us any good. And he was playing pretty fast. For him to win, he needed to take a knockout. And so he gusted up my Fez. He would have needed, for him to win, he would have had to take 4 prizes over 2 turns. So he gusted up my Fez, and the optimal play for him was to do 190 with the Gardevoir and leave it stranded in the active and hope that I didn't have an energy to retreat. And by that point, I had maybe, 8 or 9 of my energy in the discard pile. So like it wasn't particularly likely, but he made the whole play. He did the counter catcher. He played the Iono, and then he Monkey Doried and he moved damage onto the Pheasantipity and knocked it out with the Gardevoir. And at that point, I just had actually game on board because I was able to use my Monkey Dories and then generate a huge Screamtail and just knock out his active Gardevoir. So he made a minor misplay. that cost him the game there, but I was happy to move on to phase 2. And phase 2, first round, end up playing a Gardevoir that I just really didn't get off the ground either game. It was the kind of game where like I don't open Arvins or TM Evos, and then my opponent gets just a beautiful setup both games, and I'm like really struggling from behind and just can't really get a footing. So lost that one. So heading into the second day of competition, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be, another top 256 merchant or top 512 merchant. I'm like not feeling too great. 522. I feel good about the list. Again, beating the dark decks like gives me a lot of confidence, but I just like had this really rough patch here going 1-2-2. Like that's just
5-2-2. Like that's not making day 2 at like what? So like
old regionals
after round 9, old regionals, you're like not making day 2 at that.
Nah, like, you're not. You're not. And I'm feeling good the first half of the day, right? It's like going even after the first 6 rounds, like 4-1-1, like I'm feeling good.
You're still chilling.
I'm feeling good.
You just need things to turn around right there.
Yeah. So day 2 comes around and I'm on the ropes again. I'm playing a Greninja player from Malta. You know where that is?
No.
Yeah, it's like a little island off of the coast of Italy. It's like underneath Sicily. So he's like, yeah, I was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, we get like 20 players at locals. And I'm like, well, you must be the best player on the island. He's like, no, I'm not even the best player on the island. I'm like, that's crazy. But he's playing Greninja. And I was prize cards away from losing. So the first game I get absolutely cooked. He sets up behind Badoo. He gets a bunch of energy on his Froakies. He like grand trees into the Greninja. He snipes both of my Curlia. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe like my run's going to end a Greninja. I don't want to say it's maybe a favorable matchup, but Greninja does have weakness into Gardevoir. So as soon as you get like, if you get 2 Gardevoir, you just win on the spot. If you get 1 Gardevoir, it's like still you're generally in a very good position. In that first game, he just cooked me with Badoo and the Greninjas, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then game 2, I almost get cooked. And he goes like, he gets like a great setup, and he goes Buddy Poffin, get out 2 Froakie and Buddy Poffin, and he's searching for something else, and he grabs a Klefki. And I'm like, that can't be correct. And he like attaches and retreats into the Klefki. And I'm like, that is probably not what you're trying to do. Even though he was going first, like that's probably like, you're probably trying to get out the Badoo here. And sure enough, the Badoo is prized. And it was that one turn, like, or I guess the 2 turns or whatever, that he didn't have Badoo attacking, that I was able to like rare candy Gardevoir, evolve into Curlia, get a bunch of energy in the discard pile. And I just kind of ran through the game number 2. And then in game number 3, he prizes the Dusknoir. So he has like a very good setup, and he's like item locking me, and I'm able to, I think I like call sign, and I am able to kind of stabilize a board, but it comes down to, there's a position where if he's able to get a Dusknoir, he can board wipe my Greninja or board wipe my Gardevoirs. And there's really nothing I can do about it, but he prizes it. So he like has to double Dusclops, and like it just gets really ugly for him. And he ends up like giving away too many prizes, and he's like attacking with a Blood Moon at the end of the game. But I just have enough stuff to win that matchup. So I'm like sweating bullets on that one, but pull it out in round 10. Round 11. This is a player from Mexico. I remember this being a really fun game to play. And it went just how all the Charizards went. Like if you go back and listen to how I described the Toronto run and all the Charizards I played, it was like I'd lose a game, I'd win a game, and then they would just brick a game. Like one of the 3 games, right? It was some combination of that. Right. And that's exactly what happened. So he won a really good game 1 and had something like he pulled out. This was kind of hard because he was playing heavy Evo, heavy just evolving lines. So he was playing like 2 Pidgeot, 2 Pidgeotto, 2 Charmeleons, 2 TM Evos, I think. And then he also had the Monkey Dory. So I like wasn't able to like get double knockouts and it just got really hairy. And then game 2, I was able to just like go in with Drifloon, keep extra damage to a minimum. And then game 3, he pretty much dead drew as we were coming to time. I was able to take that one out. Round 12, I play against Andrew Hedrick. And this is the first time I had played against him in competition. It was great. Just a really fun match in game 3. Like game 1, I dead draw. Game 2, he dead draws. And then we go to a game 3, and there's about 25 minutes on the clock. And I think we're both thinking to each other like, hey, this is going to naturally like conclude. There's no real need here for either of us to make a gentleman's agreement. But it gets to that point. So we're getting into time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes out. And Andrew's like, do you want to like do a gentleman's? And at this point, like, I really don't like making gentleman's agreements when you're rushing to like finish the game. 'Cause that to me is, I'm going to agree to something that's maybe not a favorable state for me, without being able to have like the time to think about it. Right. So I generally don't, unless we're heading into a game 3, I'm like generally not making gentleman's agreements at, in the last like 5 minutes of a game.
No, dude, I've never once, not one time have I ever made a gentleman's agreement mid-set. That to me is crazy work. You decide that crap from the jump. Like,
I don't know.
What in the world, bro?
I would make a gentleman's agreement before game 3, right? Before game 3 starts, especially if there's like 25 minutes where it's like, I have enough time to like make a play within the context of the gentleman's agreement. And this is not, this is not like any, I don't think there was any sort of, manipulation by him or anything. Like, this is not talking bad on Andrew at all. This is just like, for me, I'm not making a gentleman's agreement when we're coming to time. Like, I'm still trying to like make my plays as fast as I can so that I can actually finish in time.
Right. No.
So I'm not messing with that at that point. So he was asking, and I was like, I think we should just like play. Like, I'm not comfortable making an agreement. And so we get down to time, and I kind of talked to him. I'm like, hey, like if there is a position where it's obvious that you're going to win, like I'll concede, because I'm not trying to, at this point a tie doesn't necessarily do anything for either of us. And, he kind of nodded there. And so we get to a position where it's his 3 prizes to my 1 prize.
And it doesn't concede.
Yeah, and well, so he does have a win condition. So, okay, so my win condition is I need to draw my last energy, because what he needs to do is he needs to take a prize on the Monkey Dory with his Monkey Dory over the course of 2 turns. So my Monkey Dory has 30 damage on it. He has 1 powered up Monkey Dory, and he needs to find another energy to use the second Monkey Dory on his next turn, right? So his turn would be, because I conclude my turn by taking a prize. I conclude my turn by like swinging into an Yveltal. So it has like, 140 damage on it or something. It has a bravery charm. I forget the exact numbers, but so he needs double Monkey Dory activated. He only has 1. And then he needs a counter catcher on my Pheasantipity to take that knockout. And so like he shows me the hand. Obviously he has the Kangaskhan on the bench, so he can draw 2 cards from that, and then he has the Petrarunt, so he can bring the Yveltal back up to the active. But he shows the hand, and he has like a, which you're not supposed to do, by the way, but again, there wasn't a change there at that
dude.
Point. But then he's like, well, I can get the, all I need is counter catcher plus a dark energy on my Monkey Dory, and I'm like, well, dude, like you have 6 dark energy in play. Like, we're talking like they're attached to things. Like, you have 6 in play.
Yes.
Or in the discard pile, you had an Absol that was knocked out during the game. Like, are you like, you need the dark, like that's the kind of pivotal thing here. Like, you need the dark energy next turn to win this game. Otherwise you give me another turn, and the only thing I need is a dark energy that's in the deck. right? Like I have energy in the deck. I have supporters in the deck. My deck is like maybe 8 cards, and the bottom 4 cards were from an Iono that I put there that are not dark energy. So I have imminent win, right? There's nothing, I'm down to 1 prize. I have imminent win.
Yeah.
But I don't even know that he has the resources available to win the game.
No.
So like he does make a pretty compelling argument, but I'm like I also have a win condition here, so we end up just tying that out.
Let me stop you here real quick. This kind of crap should not be happening at a tournament. You should not be able to argue your case. There should not be gentlemen's agreements where people are deciding, making arguments based on board state and things like that. Because, and it's like, Andrew Hedrick is a very smart, very talented player, but like someone like that going into a less, going up against somebody who's not a 3-time regional champion, he's probably just going to get that win, right? And the thing is, and that's why I am always like, I will never make a gentleman's agreement that's not based on prize count, because you take that one every single time, and it's objective, right? Right. It's not about making that argument. It's about like, I will decide game 3 based on prizes if that's what you want to do, but I will never agree to anything else, because you're getting into this. It's like there's this stuff that's like it's not even showing the hand. You're not allowed to do that. That's like, is that coercion? Like, is that like you're trying to get, like, anytime you're arguing your case, the difference between arguing your case as to why you're going to win and trying to get your opponent to scoop to you, those two are extremely closely intertwined, and those lines get blurred constantly at the top tables at these events, and it's honestly, it's gross. It's just gross now, and I desperately wish that the Pokemon Company would actually do something so that this is no longer a part of our tournament. Things should be cut and dry, right?
Sure.
Wins and losses should be cut and dry. There should not be any of this campaigning for a win happening, but it happens constantly. Yeah, for sure. It's freaking gross. No, it makes me really mad, because like that's what, like, you have these people who are able to campaign for wins, based on like their ability to make arguments and things like that.
Right. And in my, ultimately, again, because I like, I get it, and I've been the beneficiary of these kinds of end game situations before, and I've conceded these kinds of end game situations before. So I'm not foreign. It's not foreign to me that, a tie puts us out of cash is obviously what we're going for. But then I like look at, where he's at. Like he needs a lot of, like, he needs a multi-card combo over the course of 2 turns to win the game.
Do you think he would have ever? Do you think? I mean, so like, if you had said, if you had said gentlemen's, do you think he would have actually conceded to you?
On prizes, I do think that. I told him after.
Well, when you say gentlemen's, do you say like sure based on prizes or what?
Right. Well, we didn't really like agree to a gentleman's, but I told him after. I was like, to be honest, Andrew, like, I don't think you were going to concede to me in that position, because at a certain point, like, we had judges on us, and it just got to this weird spot where it's like we're not really able to openly talk about the game, because if it was man to man, like, we'd be showing hands, we would be hey, if
doing the illegal stuff.
Yeah, doing the illegal. Yeah, totally.
Like, play your turnout, see if you get it.
Exactly, that kind of stuff, right? But we had judges there.
You'd be doing the illegal stuff.
We can't actually talk about the game in the way that players would want to talk about the game. Does that make sense? Like, we
can't do the illegal stuff because it's over.
Because it's over.
Freaking over.
Exactly. It's over. And I was talking to him after.
Over. That's why.
I was talking to him after. I'm like, I don't think you would concede to me in this position. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Because in his mind, he has a legitimate win condition, right?
And that is why that right there is why this is such a problem, is because you have these players who are so self-confident, who are like, yeah, let's gentlemen's based on board state, and would never concede a gray board state, never. You know what I mean? They're only making that They're only making that gentleman's agreement so that they can be the beneficiary more times than not, right? It's like, because it's this gray area, and they're trying to win over the majority of the gray area by being a better being the better arguer. That's what makes me sick about it. is that it's not this black and white thing based on prize count. That's black and white. That's fine. That is what it is. We agreed upon that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about morally gray, not morally, when you're talking about like gray, strategically gray, board states at the end, then it's like your ability to actually campaign and argue makes a difference, and your unwillingness to concede a gray board state also makes a difference. And it's like that stuff is gross and shouldn't be part of the game anymore.
So, and then the other thing I talked to him about, I'm like, hey, let's be real about where we're at here. A top 128 for you does nothing. A top 128 for me actually like is, it is something. Like I'm going to I'm going for the slim fight, as I call it, right? The minimum amount of events to like reasonably attain an invite. And, and 40 extra points, the difference between a top 128 and a top 256, like that, like legitimately is a difference. So, we kind of understand, we come to that understanding there, and it results in a tie. And then round 13, I get a layup, my first real layup of the tournament in a crust hold.
So you did a little campaign there. Or was that after the slip was signed?
Oh, that was after this. Like we were talking, I was like, hey, I don't think you'd ever concede to me. And he's like, yeah, no. And then I'm like, well, to be honest, this is like a top 128 is
it meant more to me than it meant to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Top 128 is a reasonable result for me versus like a top 256. Obviously, I want to cash. Like I feel like my play was tight enough that I could have, but that's just how it goes. And then round 14, this was a fun round. I played against Giovanni Sasso, and I really enjoyed my matches. He's a very animated player. I don't know that we had never played before, but he's a very animated player, and just was like it was just so funny. Like there was a point with this is a horrible matchup, by the way. I ended up beating him 2-0. I got a little bit lucky, you have to, but it was kind of funny. Like there was a time where I had to confuse him with my Monkey Dory, confuse his active Jellicent with my Monkey Dory. And like, it really felt like he was, he was putting his whole soul into the dice roll, and it came up tails a couple times. And it was like, man, like, it's kind of like an animated reaction. I wasn't really prepared for it. And then he did flip heads one time, and he's like almost like pumping up his Jellicent, like hyping it up. Anyway, I beat him 2-0. He was a little bit tilted, I think, after the match. Not at me. He was very pleasant to play against. Just very tilted because he knows that the matchup is quite favored for Gardevoir Jellicent. Like quite favored for the deck, and he had some pretty rough draws throughout the series and a little bit of bad luck with the coin flips. But I was really happy to, like, I knew sitting in that round, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm finally playing a matchup that I don't want to see, and came away with a win. So top 128 at EUIC. I'm pretty proud of that, or maybe not proud. I'm happy with that result. So that's another 140 points to the invite chase. That puts me at 565. So 565. Okay. So I have 2 cup finishes. Okay. So here's my plan. Okay, I got 2 open cups. Right, I've only been to 3 cups this season. Mm-hmm. I have a first and a second, so I'm like gonna win 2 cups.
Go.
And then it's a day 2 in my last regional, which is Houston. And that's it. And then I hit the 700.
And then your next child is born.
Exactly. And then my next child is born, and then I'll see you at Worlds, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that is the roadmap. If the invite is to be attained, it's because I am not going to NAIC this year.
No.
We decided that.
You did one IC. Right?
I did one IC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got that. We got the win 2 cups, day 2 Houston for like 40 to 60 points. Obviously, I want to do better than that.
Do well at Houston.
Well, I want to do well.
Like, why don't you like? Yeah. After playing with Jesse today, post rotation standard is fun. I'm excited to get into it. Is it dumbed down? Yeah.
No, Houston is this format. Houston
I
is
know
Ascended,
it is, but I'm
Ascended
excited.
Heroes.
I'm excited for the next format though.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm gonna be getting on my grind a little bit. I'm gonna be going out to locals, actually, like, getting out there, playing. I was telling Jesse, like, I took a year off. I mean, I took a whole year off.
Yeah.
You don't just like hop back in the regionals circuit and like just pick up where you left off. Like, that's a long time to like to get mentally out of the game. So post rotation for me is like a reset point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I've been to a couple of events. I mean, I day two'd IC in there, I've been doing all right. But rotation, that's like a reset point where I don't feel like I'm actually trying to like catch back up to where everybody's already at. It's like I'm kind of like
start fresh. Yeah.
Start fresh at the same place as everybody else.
Yep.
So that for me is my reset point, and I'm going to be trying to go to Indianapolis, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm looking forward to at a certain point, like I stopped going to locals because like the grind kind of gets so time consuming, and when you're just on the grind for like a decade, it never stops, right? You're just like on this, and it's like if I'm just going to locals and like regionals for a decade, I have no life. Like, I have no life. If I'm going to locals on every weekend, and every weekend I'm, not at locals, I'm at a regional, like I just have no life. There's nothing else going on in my life. That's it. So like at a certain point, I started cutting out locals because I was like, I want to have a life, right? And then regionals are more like interspersed, and it still felt like, the amount of grinding that it took to, to be playing at that level that I was at in like 2023, it's an obscene amount of grinding.
It is.
So I was trying to cut corners anywhere that I could.
Yep.
But now, after kind of taking that year off, I'm ready to just like kind of start on the ground level and work my way back up. So that's kind of like, I'm kind of thinking it like that. Like for like running, for instance, like I was a competitive runner for like over a decade. And then like I took a break for a while because I needed a big break from that. But then it's like you're kind of restarting. It's like, okay, it'll where am I at now in my life? That's kind of how I feel like with
it'll never stop being about the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
It'll never stop being about the fundamentals. So I think, reset is good. I think you're right in saying like, yeah, I'm going to come back kind of in a new format, an unexplored format, or underdeveloped format. Right. It's the start of a new format. I think that's a good kind of reintroduction point. But yeah, I mean, you just need solid fundamentals at this stage. I mean, we're just.
Oh, for sure.
It's crazy, man. Like this is all these tournaments this year. I'm playing round after round. Like my round 8 opponent, right? Again, Ben. He was amazing. He had started maybe a year and a half ago. I think I remember him saying. Like, bro probably should have won that game in a win and in at a EUIC. And year and a half, bro, he's piloting Gardevoir at a proficient level. Like all my day one opponents had winning records. Like we're not dealing with slouches here. Like the level of competition is just getting better overall. And so, yeah, I mean, it'll never stop being about the fundamentals. Like I think you'll do fine. I wouldn't worry about you, Andrew.
I'm not worried about
you coming back.
I'm just having fun, bro.
There you go.
I'm ready to. But like for a while, I wasn't having fun going to locals.
Yeah,
I wasn't. So I'm like trying to rediscover that joy of the game, a little bit. And I think for me, like going out and like playing locals and stuff, and kind of like getting involved with my local community, it's gonna be. Like, I love all our local guys that come to, like, Full Grip and stuff. Honestly, I wish I could play in Full Grip's events. I just, like, that would be the dream, honestly, just to kind of be one of the Full Grip crew who, like, went to our own locals. But I, like, cast GLC. I wish I could play, but I cast GLC. I cast our League Cups.
Yeah. But I do love the grind, though.
It's all good.
It is fun. I do miss.
You love the grind? You never felt like you needed a break, bro?
Oh, we'll see. I don't know. I'm like this tournament was And this year in general, it's like I really enjoy it. But I think, next year I'm like really thinking like, hey, maybe that's time for me to take a bit of a step back in terms of,
because you never did, bro.
I never
powered
did
through having 2 kids. You never really took a step back.
I never did.
Like,
I never did. And,
I had to. I couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah. I'm kind of coming at peace with, being where you were this last year, where it's like, maybe I can get out to a few regionals and just be like the local demon and like be satisfied with that. Cause I just like playing, right? So like locals or an international or worlds, like it almost doesn't matter. Like I just like playing the cards. I shouldn't say it almost doesn't matter, but it's like, it gives me the same kind of dopamine hit. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I necessarily like need to travel as much as I have. And it's not even that much. Like I've been to 4 regionals or 4 majors this year so far. I'm going to a 5th one. Like it really hasn't been a lot, but in the context of like a family, that
in
is
context
kind of
of a family, it's a lot.
It kind of is a lot, so I'm trying to think about where I'm at for next year and like what that looks like. And so that's why I'm really invested this season, because I'm like, man, what a cool story if I could, just make that one last push, that one last
but Pokemon lasts forever, man.
I know. I know. It wouldn't be a last.
Years.
It wouldn't be a last. It would be like a
no.
It would just be
You're
like
not an NFL player. You're not Tom Brady, bro. It's not like you need to
turn the pot to simmer.
It's not like, I'm too old, bro. Like I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
No.
I found that when I became a father, my mental acuity was like cut in half at least. And I was like, I'm just not at my best right this second. Like, and I know that sleep is an issue, right? Stress is an issue. And time is an issue. All of these things are issues. And it's like, so why white knuckle through that? Like, that's just, to me, is like,
see that, but that's crazy because, bro, I'm feeling like I'm peak, dude. I'm feeling like this is some of the best game. Like this is some of the best I've played. This is some of the best I've played. Like I feel like I am locked in. Like I know the meta. I know my.
I'm not
deck.
good at compartmentalizing like that.
Yeah.
That's not how I like everything. I carry everything I'm doing everywhere with me.
I see.
At all times. That's more tough. That's more how my brain works.
That's tough.
Like I'm just, no, I can't like compartmentalize, lock in, lock out, like that kind of, no. Yeah. So, no, it's more chaotic up here for sure.
Yeah. So overall, really nice time. I was the best performing from the group. We had myself, Jesse took his Miraidon deck and it did not go well. Been trying to tell him, like, get off the horse, but he cannot.
I mean, he said as much on stream today that he is going to play that deck until the wheels fall off, till rotation.
I told him that Toronto was like a false flag. And like he was like, oh, but I was 1 win away from top cut. I'm like,
it's all he needed. It was all he needed.
Yeah. He just needed a sliver of confirmation.
Of hope. Yeah. I know. And he got it.
But we had a great weekend. I was roommates with Jesse over the weekend and it was a lot of fun. We went to a Broadway show, Les Miserables, on Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. We went to the National Gallery. We went to a pub, Ye Old Cheshire Cheese. For those Londoners out there, know what I'm talking about. We got Percy Pigs over in London, of course. My goat, Percy Pig. The best gummy candy ever created. I know there are some people out there that are like, but you can get Percy Pigs in America now. You can get Percy Pigs in Target. But can you get Veggie Pigs? Can you get Reversey Pigs? Can you get Fizzy Pigtails? Can you get Piglets? Can you get all the variations of Percy Pig here in America? And you cannot. Okay? So yes, you can get Percy Pigs here. You cannot get every variation, so we had some of those. Yeah, it was like a really nice time. It was really a really good weekend. Why are you looking at me like
that? I'm glad you had fun, man. I'm glad you had fun. No, I'm glad you guys got to go see a play too. That's sick.
Yeah, it's
good. No, and honestly, 128. I was proud of you looking at the list. I know that's not like a result you're gonna come away and be like, oh yeah, killed it. But
yeah,
it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah, it's 128 out of 4,000 people. I tied Hedrick. Solid. I beat Giovanni. Solid. Again, we're not talking about slotch players here. I was really happy with the day 2, not the phase 2 performance, but the day 2 going 401.
Yeah.
So again, I can't complain in terms of tournament performances. This hits right about the middle. So we will. Now.
What do we want to?
Let's shift slightly into the mailbag. I do want to just highlight, guys, if you are on YouTube or if you're listening on a podcasting platform, please make sure to interact with the show. Give us a like on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcasting platform. All that engagement helps. One form of engagement that we have is our comment section on both Spotify and YouTube. Riley talked last week about the starter promo artwork, and CD says Hulbert's take on the starter promos is more of an indictment on how long the adults have been in the game than the card design. Agreeing with Riley. Riley had like a real big, problem with the card arts and how it was just kind of so samey. I liked it.
What, the promos that were revealed from the 30th anniversary?
They looked great, man.
I'm not into it, but I'm with Riley on that one. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well, JW Army rise
next.
Up.
I mean, it's fine. Not everything needs to be for me, though. That's the point that I'm at with Pokemon.
Exactly.
It's not everything needs to be. I mean, I play in a niche of this. A niche of this. Pokemon trading card game is a niche of the Pokemon larger,
fandom
thing. Whatever. Not everything needs to be for me. That's okay. I'm at peace with that. It's way easier in Pokemon to be like, oh well, not everything's for me than it is to be like in Star Wars. If you're like a Star Wars fan, it's a lot harder to tell yourself, well, not all these shows are for me because I feel like Star Wars fans and things like that. I mean, they have actively watched the quality of their franchise just go down, as the years have gone by, and it sucks, and I get that, but for Pokemon, it's is that somebody probably likes that out there, so that's okay. They'll release more cards.
Alex says, I saw JW directing traffic in the bathroom at Las Vegas Regionals. Riley and Andrew would never. You ever do that? Okay, so here's what they were talking about. It's we're in the bathroom line and it gets very long in the main bathrooms attached to the hall, and sometimes you just have to use those bathrooms because you can't afford to go out and then check back in. Especially at some of the U.S. regionals, it just they kind of section off the entrance, and it makes it really hard. Anyway,
I disagree. I disagree with that statement that you just made, that you can't afford to go out. I do not use the bathrooms that are actually in the hall.
No, me neither. But sometimes you have to, and you'll.
No, they always take longer. Always.
No,
Always, bro. Always.
Anyway, Alex highlighting that I was directing traffic, and they say that you would never. I don't know. Would you yell to the back of the line and tell them that there's urinals open?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, Alex.
Yeah. Have done that. Yeah. There's a urinal open. Hey.
Okay.
Just anybody here got to pee?
Never seen it before, so I don't know. I might take
waiting
Alex.
Yeah. I do think that yeah. Oh, just because you haven't seen me in my bathroom etiquette. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in your element. Sock account reporting. Make sure to upvote. All right, will do. JW, where can I contact you to become a sock account? As many say you already are. JW. JW, is it a pork roll or a Taylor ham? Do you know this, Andrew? Do you know what they're talking about?
No, I've never heard of such things.
Okay, so it's an East Coast thing, particularly a New Jersey thing. Taylor ham is like it's a sandwich basically, and then what you call it is kind of like a regional thing, right? It's like pop and soda,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Hoagie and sub and
yeah. My issue with the question and just generally the culinary landscape of New Jersey in general is that I'm like frankly disappointed that this is the addition to the American culinary landscape that New Jersey gives. The Taylor ham and the diner are like the two things that New Jersey is like known for, and I guess I'm just a little bit disappointed that is what they offer. But I will say Taylor ham in this case. In any case, Chen Pao was fun to see, even if not groundbreaking. Do you ever miss those days? Andrew,
what, Chen Pao?
The Chen Pao days?
I mean, like, I don't think of it as like necessarily missing those days. I just, like, for a time I was enjoying playing that deck, but would I enjoy playing that deck forever? No. So like, I don't miss Chen Pao. I miss having a deck that I click with like I was clicking with Chen Pao. So I'm always hopeful that the next deck will come, because as someone who's played the game for as long as I have, the next deck, it do be coming. And sometimes it's like, having a good relationship with it's like a relationship you build with the deck, right? It's obviously people get upset when cards rotate, but like you're trying to find a good fit, and sometimes trying to find that fit can be exciting too. You just got to embrace the search, and sometimes decks can surprise you. My kind of biggest case of that was Mew VMAX. I just I actually was kind of like really not liking Mew VMAX for like at least the first year that it was out, and like actively kind of hated it.
Yeah.
And then, and then it just ended up being one of those decks that was like the comfort zone deck, which was crazy. Like it evolved into that, so like, and a deck that I just played to every single tournament that year. Right. So like
the Mew year, who could forget?
Yeah. The Mew year. So like, and then Chen Pao was a deck. I used to make fun of Chen Pao players all the time for having the world's most inconsistent deck. Like, your deck sucks. This is not a real deck. And I used to just like, I would roast Chen Pao players constantly. And then the Chen Pao players finally did break the deck. And I was like, okay, you guys actually have solved it. This is the most broken deck ever. And I fell in love with it for exactly like one tournament and ended up top 8ing it. So like that was hype actually. Yeah, so like I anxiously await whatever that next deck that I click with is. I cannot say that I have found it.
Do you think it exists in the post rotation, like the immediate post rotation format? Like
no,
everything just kind of is bland and boring.
Yeah, not boring. I could certainly play some Mega Lucario. Mega Lucario seems about as interesting to me as Goldengo was. It's not like terribly interesting, but I could play that deck for sure. But I am hopeful. I'm certainly comfortable playing a deck like Mega Lucario. I could even play Dragapult. Like, that's fine. Dragapult's just broken. Like, post-rotation, it's just literally broken.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm very comfortable playing the two best decks in the format. That's fine with me. But I'd rather find something more interesting for myself.
Yeah. No.
So I will be on that search to find like that really good like tier 2 deck that I feel like I can outplay people with. That's usually like what I'm looking for in a format. It's like not the deck that everybody's like, oh, that's going to be the 20%er, the deck that's like, a quarter of the room. I never really want to be playing that deck at a tournament. That's miserable. Everybody's teched against you. Everybody is put in infinite reps against you. I'd rather be that deck where it's like, well, No, I haven't. Maybe I haven't gotten as many reps as I would like against that strategy. Oh, I don't have the specific tech for that strategy. I'm kind of going in with less experience against that. That's more the strategy I would like to be playing that. But we'll see. I'm flexible. I had a little fling with Raging Bolt. That was fun. Maybe I'll take another look at that, the Crispin version, post rotation.
It was maybe a bit underplayed at EUIC.
Yeah,
which is interesting. One of the decks that can really handle Mega Absol, which, as we were talking about last week, was one of the big shakers from the International. Let's take a look here at the results. Edwin Messman, one of their, I think this is their first win. Certainly one their best result. 15-0-3, so an only undefeated player at the International, which is just crazy work. Congratulations, Edwin. A pretty epic finals against Drew. Drew prizing had some prizing. I don't know if you would necessarily call it issues, because I think it's actually pretty good to have your superior energy retrievals in the prizes against a deck that can discard cards from your hand.
Right. It's like broken. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like kind of good. Like, I think if you could choose your prizes, you would probably do it that way. But Drew has also been on a heater with his Goldango deck. And then, the rest of the top 10 in this case, I mean, you're seeing, a couple of Mega Absols, a couple of Gardevoirs, and then some Charizard decks and some Zoroark. So like a pretty diverse top 8 or top 10, I guess, in this case. I think, like we were saying, like Riley was saying, I think if we look back at this format in 5 years, we're going to remember it as being particularly diverse, with a number of different strategies that all work against each other in a very interesting and unique way and have cool matchups. And I think this is one of the better formats that we have seen in recent memory. And then heading on down to top 32, you're seeing a number of Gardevoirs, Charizards, Dragapults. I mean, it's pretty consolidated amongst the top, 6 decks or so. Yurko with another cash finish with the Raging Bolt is pretty crazy work. But interesting stuff. What did you think of the results of EUIC?
Seems cool. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Yeah. Because my mind is post rotation, bro. I just don't care. I don't care. I'm checked out completely of this format. I might go to a League Cup in this format, maybe. In which case, it's like, cool. I'll put my Goldango deck back together and go rock out, something like that. But like, I'm not really gonna waste a lot of mental effort thinking about this. Because for me, my mind and my energy is all kind of like post rotation. The content I'm going to be producing on Tricky Gym is post rotation. My next big event is going to be post rotation. So like, that's kind of where I'm at. We've been playing this format just for a really long time. I mean, like, essentially, it's true. Like, so like, I mean, like, Tord won, Vegas with the Absol box. Here it is again. Yeah, the deck's real. It's good, Liam at it again with the Zoroark deck, like still out here, like probably the best Zoroark player in the world right now. It's kind of crazy.
And Christian has also been playing it for quite a while as well. So so like the Zoroark heads, and the thing is that Zoroark. So probably the most interesting part about it to me is that like you've got these Zoroark diehards who are still performing well with Zoroark. Tournament in, tournament out. Zoroark has not been a widely adopted deck. Yeah.
Despite its successes.
Yeah.
It is not a widely adopted deck. And Zoroark continues to be a strong deck, though not overtly popular deck post-rotation. So Zoroark is still an X factor, still interesting, still very successful post rotation. So like that to me is like the biggest thing is like I really like, I don't know what it is. I never liked Zoroark GX during the Sun and Moon era. I just never played that deck. But Zoroark is still here, still doing things in the current standard, still going to be doing things post rotation too.
Yeah, even gets to the news the new Zekrom.
And I can't believe they're not even playing with the new
whatever.
Ascended Heroes wasn't even legal for this tournament. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
yep.
I mean, like literally this format, it's a dead format, right? Like, so to me, I'm like, to me, it's less about like the decks that did well and more about the players and their individual accomplishments. That's why it's like, to me, that's kind of like the most interesting thing out of this event.
I'm going to make a slight plug for Stray Gardevoir, particularly Stray Gardevoir, the list that I played. I think your only bad matchup is Jelly Guardy. I'm almost convinced of that at this point. Like, I have not lost to the dark decks that you're supposed to lose to. Goldango maybe is a little bit sketchy, but I've learned my lines, so I'm going to beat that deck every time I play against it. And then Zoroark with the Drifloon in it is, I don't want to say unlosable. It's just it flips the matchup pretty significantly. So yeah, I'm like kind of looking at this and I'm saying, okay, if this holds, because Ascended Heroes is not going to be a particularly impactful set. You get the 70 HP Snorunt. You get, I don't know, there's like one other card that maybe goes into some decks. I guess you get the Dragonite. I don't think that's really a deck, but I'm looking ahead to Houston and I'm thinking, yeah, what am I scared of? But yeah, really interesting stuff out of I kind of agree with you there. It's like looking at what players did well and not necessarily what archetypes did well, even though some of it will carry over into the upcoming majors.
For players going to the upcoming majors, like, I mean, of course there's a lot to dissect here, but for me it's like, I'm just gonna be honest, for me I'm like, okay, cool, Kangaskhan got another one, that's neat.
Yeah, it does follow the trend that we were talking about last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. Like, we were kind of thinking that Absolbox, or I was thinking Absolbox was a deck on the rise. That's clearly true. I think it's solidified itself as like that maybe low tier 1, high tier 2 archetype. And then similarly with Goldango, another strong result. Easily could have taken down the tournament, finishing second here. I mean, and then a number of Goldango within the top placements. So I think that is, something where it's like we are seeing somewhat of a shift, like away from Dragapult decks, interestingly enough, and more toward decks like Mega Absolbox and Goldango, maybe a little bit more supercharged, high-powered decks almost. I feel the need to call that out because I did foresee Absolbox being quite a strong play for EUIC, and yeah, turns out I was proven right there.
Proven right yet again.
I know. Again, I told you I've been locked in, bro. Been locked in.
Does it get exhausting being so right?
I just need to stay locked in for ideally 2 more majors this year. So then I can.
There you go.
Then I can.
How many points do you think it's going to take for you to go to Worlds?
Oh, well, that's the question, right? I don't know.
That is the question. That's why I'm asking it.
It's 135. It's top 135 in North America, and so
more
last
than it
year
was last year, right?
That's more. It's 125 was last year's.
Yeah.
So theoretically, there's a bit like a less points are needed. And then my other cope that I've been thinking about is,
what was the cutoff last year?
It was 700 exactly.
Okay.
My other cope, and you can tell me if this is just like out of left field, because I have done no like looking at point. Like, I have really not hunted the leaderboard whatsoever.
And there's really no point, right? Because you're just like,
especially at this point, like especially
over what, like, just play your game and then see where it lies, right? Because you only have a set amount of events you can go to. Anyway,
exactly. So. Yeah, exactly. Right. My cope is that, we have been seeing a lot of the better players perform well, like consistently over the last 6 months. Yeah. And so my cope is that they're all kind of sucking up those top end points and dropping that bar maybe even a little bit further then
they're grinching, bro.
They're grinching. They literally are, dude.
They're grinching.
Like, Liam, save some points for the rest of us, bro.
They're grinching, dude.
You
they're
know,
grinching.
Ian, save some points. Makani, save some top 8s for the rest of us.
Like, you really need all those points, dude?
Well, like, because you're ending up with these players. You know, you have like Aban and Henry and Makani and just, you know, Liam, Christian, like all Jackson, like all these players are getting repeated top 16s, top 8s, cashing pretty much every other, if not every tournament. And yeah, there's something about that that's like, well, maybe they're like really kind of stifling out the lower competition. So we'll end up with this just massive gap where the top end players have like 1,500, 1,600, 1,700 points. And then that, 135 range is much more manageable. But we'll see. Still got like, I don't know, 6 months. So anything can happen.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to get to 700?
700? Yeah. Well, I told you the route, right?
So you just need to win 2 cups and get top 120 or top like 64 at a regional or something?
No, it's like, it would be like, so win 2 cups is 665, right? Because I have 2 open finishes. Not like I'm improving a finishes. I just like literally have not been to any cups.
Yes. 0 to 100. Yes.
Yeah, 0 to 100.
Points.
So I could go, I could get any number of points there. And then if it is 100, right? If it's like win 2 cups.
Sure.
Then like 40 points puts me over the threshold. So that's like a top 124 at a regional. That's not necessarily even a day 2. That's like a 5 and 3, I think, at Houston. Or no, maybe it is top 5,
top
12.
124.
Top 10, 24? 1,024?
Oh, 1024. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. No, bro. Stop. Don't even think about
I'm just
top
saying.
512s. Like,
I'm just saying. I'm just being,
No. Just top 32 it, and you'll be fine.
I know. I'm trying to cash, obviously. Cash out.
For sure.
So, yeah. Should be attainable. Should be doable. Just all comes down to
I got
Houston.
Gen 1 bait merch, dude. Gen 1 bait
I know.
merch.
Coming into the home stretch of the cast, we got a couple of topics here. They released at EUIC some new merchandise that looks like really crisp, very clean. This was the display case
nice.
that they had at EUIC showing off the new merchandise. It's kind of this like nostalgic gold featuring the Gengar and Nidorino from the opening credits of the games. They're doing like video game trading card game tie-ins, which we haven't really seen before, right? Where they're actually doing kind of like graphics, video game graphics. So what are some initial thoughts on the design?
I mean, I like that they're referencing the Game Boy on an official TCG product. My favorite part of this is that there are pixels there, right? Like the pixelated kind of background, just kind of calling back to the origins of the Pokemon franchise with the pixels. Actually, I really like that pin. The pin's nice. And I think the pixel art is beautiful. I think it's great. They've done some things in pixel art, in the last 30 years. I mean, there's the like the evolutions. They have a whole pin line that's like pixel art. But yeah, these look cool. I mean, at a certain point, I'm no longer in the market to ever be buying any merch like this because I just own too much of it already. But my house is at max Pokemon capacity.
But what about buying it to resell it later?
No, bro. I'm also like, I'm good on that.
Okay.
Not this.
Okay.
No, bro. The pin is nice. So like, that's one of the things that I am open to like collecting more of, though, is the pins. I like enamel pins. I like whenever you go to like a major, international or world championship or whatever, you get a pin from those. And that has been like the one thing that I have started keeping or seeking out at each of those.
I've been meeting a lot
events.
of pinheads, dude. I've been meeting a lot of pinheads.
Because they're a nice memento from the event that is cheap, colorful, has the artwork from the event, and you can store it in like a very easy to present place, and it doesn't take an obnoxious amount of space, right? Like it's a perfect little collectible thing. Very easy to display. They look nice. I'm into it. I have a pin board in my studio, and that's where I keep all of my, my nice pins. They just remind me of the various events that I've gone to. The other thing that I collect from major events is I do keep all of, which at a certain point, it is starting to feel like hoarding at a certain point, is the freaking, the badges. I keep all my badges from every international and like worlds that I go to.
Yeah.
And like, well, now they're doing badges at regionals, right? Before it was only internationals and worlds that got badges. So like they didn't add up that fast. But now that I'm keeping badges from like some regionals and stuff too, it's like, well, okay, now I got a lot of these. But reminds me a little bit like back in the day when I used to play like club soccer. We used to all like teams had like team patches, right? And you would like trade them with other teams and like you have this huge thing of patches like on your bag. Now I have I have like a hook where I have all my badges from like various tournaments that I've been to. But I don't know. For me, I also like I'll scribble the deck that I played in Sharpie like on the badge, and then the record that I ended up having. So like it's like a nice little thing to flip through and be like, oh, at this event I did this. At this event I played this, did this.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I think I've been wanting to collect some of the, make some old decks, and I feel like Haymaker would look just insane with the setup. The double deck box.
It would.
Out of the double deck box.
It would.
With the sleeves.
The playmat and the double deck box look great. I just don't need more. They do look good. They look good.
Yeah.
I really like the color. I like the pixel back. I think it looks great. It's very nostalgic for me. I mean, really, you're tapping into like a very core memory, obviously.
Yep. They knew what they were doing with this.
I'd like to see them do more things like this. I think it'd be cool. Like, what if they did like a play mat where the scene from Emerald where you got like Rayquaza and Groudon and Kyogre or something, like that'd be dope. Like that would be sick.
Yeah, don't you know that's
like,
coming in the 35th anniversary?
Yeah, I guess I don't know that. Yeah,
well, I don't know. Probably though. Yeah, they're gonna squeeze every ounce of nostalgia out from us millennials any way they can.
I know they will.
So
yeah,
they're good at it.
Speaking
of nostalgia, we have some new cards, and this is going to close us out for this evening. New cards, but what's old is new again. I think. The Beedrill EX. Interesting card. B Rumble for a single grass energy. This deck does 110 damage for each Beedrill you have in play. So it says including Beedrill EX, so there's like maybe a hint that we're getting a non-EX Beedrill, which I don't think has like too much of an impact other than mitigating prizes. But I think you're always going to be wanting more Weedle anyway, so I don't necessarily think that that's a big deal. But this is interesting because it should remind the retro heads of a deck called Speedrill, which was very popular in 2006.
Didn't it win like 2009 Worlds or something?
2009. Yeah, I believe it did win Speedrill.
Was it 2000? I know. I've heard that referred to. I am an expert, by no means an expert on like those 2007 to 2009. That's like the years that I know the least about in the Pokemon TCG. Those were like But I have heard that Beedrill deck referred to as the worst deck to ever win. I've heard it referred to as the worst deck to ever win in Worlds. I was saying I'm no expert, but I have heard that.
Well, let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look. Here's the Pokemon, right? Flutter Wings. You may search your deck for a grass Pokemon. Show it to your opponent. Okay. And then it has the other Beedrill, which has the band attack. So this is kind of the parallel, right? For the Beedrill EX. Does 30 damage times the number of Beedrill you have in play. So you're using one Beedrill to search, you're using the other one to attack for 120 for 1, which, again, in modern day sucks. At the time, was quite good. There were very few things that were surviving a 120 to the face turn after turn. And then you could bring up anything you want with the Luxray. And then obviously we had Claydol. The big thing...
This kind of reminds me a little bit of Jump Bluff, honestly. It feels similar.
Yep. Jump Bluff is definitely a parallel deck. But the big thing was that you had broken time space, so you could just, if you did get a Beedrill knocked out, you just bring it back, especially with the other Beedrill and the Flutterwings being able to search out Pokemon every turn. So you could just evolve it right back up, right? You did have Rare Candy, you had broken time space. Obviously, in modern day, we have the Forest of Vitality. As a spiritual successor to Broken Time Space. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't played enough 2009 and specifically with this deck to know that it's like not good. I do have also heard rumors that it's among the worst World's winning decks.
No. Now that I've actually read the Beedrill, no, I think this deck is dope, dude. Because it just reminds me a lot of Jump Bluff. It's like it's similar.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So you just spam your grass guys into play and do damage while having the most broken draw engine ever printed in the history of the Pokemon TCG. It's not that complicated. And that's why people hate on it, because it's not that complicated. You just are going, wee! And you're just smacking things. Yeah.
So anyway, what do you think about the Beedrill EX?
No. Be serious.
I don't know. No. 330 for 1?
Oh, 330? Let me think of this.
Okay, so it could do 440. Wait. It does 110 for each Beedrill you have in play. So it
that's broken.
It could do 440 for 1.
This could be
and
good.
You have...
All right, this could be good. This could be good. This could be good. Okay. I don't know where my math was. Yeah.
All I had to say was 330 for 1.
400 for 1. It could do 440
bro. It could do 440 for 1, bro.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah, this thing's broken. I'm building it.
You need all the Beedrills.
This could be my new favorite deck.
You need all the Beedrills.
Yeah, need to not prize 330 for 1. I'll take 330 for 1.
Would you take 220 for 1?
It's not looking great. 220 for 1. 220 for 1 still not bad though. All right, but you need to have good Kakunas.
I know there aren't good Kakunas, unfortunately. This is the Kakuna.
I know.
Right? It's like we needed the Water Duplicates Kakuna. I think that has been.
I know.
Players have been calling for
multiply.
That. Yep. But we don't have that. And then even the Weedle like sucks as well. Like we're not talking like a draw attack, right? This is a surprise attack. Flip a coin if Tails' attack does nothing. Like this needs to have just like a Filch, or it needs to have a Call for Family, or
not even Call for Family like at minimum, right?
Yeah, or give us, maybe you don't add it to the Kakuna, but maybe you give us a like an ability that lets you evolve into Kakuna or something, right? Like if your opponent evolves a Pokemon, then you can evolve it into so it's kind of adding more consistency to the deck. But yeah, we don't even see that. So the pre
bug catching set's still in format. So, this could be a thing. Yeah. The thing is that this deck desperately wants this card definitely wants like a Shaman EX or like a setup.
Yeah,
it wants a Feeburel.
Like a Claydol, right? Maybe that's the only thing this deck is missing. Like
it really needs something like that.
Yeah, like one of the most broken.
Because you've got all the other pieces. All the other pieces. Actually, okay, maybe this is the deck I fall in love with, dude. Yeah, this is kind of hype. But there needs to be like a setup style, like a Crobat V, like a Dedenne GX.
Right.
There needs to be something to give you some explosive draw. Because, like, keep in mind, research is gone.
Right.
So, like, you've got Lily. And then, like, what are you doing? That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you could turbo through the deck
but, like,
pretty fast.
honestly, because now that I'm kind of, like, thinking about it, like, I mean, you could play, like, Hops Cramorant in this deck.
Sure.
Just like it's a 1 energy attack. That's so good.
Well, and
there's so much stuff you could do with a 1 energy attack.
Well, exactly, and that's kind of what I'm thinking too. It's not a 3 prize Pokemon. This is a 2 prize Pokemon.
Yeah, 2 prize Pokemon. No. The more I think about this, the better it gets. Actually, yes.
Yeah, like I
for sure.
kind of think this has a lot of pieces, and I obviously with the wording, you maybe think that there's another Beedrill, right? So if there's like a consistency Beedrill, like one that draws cards, for instance, that could work, or
right, because
one,
there was a Beedrill that like you could just put into play.
or
It
that
might
one
be one of those
that
too,
could be
right?
cool, right? Yeah, it could just come into play by itself without needing the
The
pre-evolutions.
elusive master,
That would be pretty
Beedrill
good.
from Vivid Voltage. That was kind of cool.
That would be pretty good. So yeah, there's a few things, and then yeah, obviously 310 HP for with the one. Like there are maybe like healing strategies that you could do, something like Turo, right? You could like pick up a Beedrill.
Bro,
and
Turo
like
is rotated, big dog. Man, see, not dialed in.
What? No, I'm talking about in
Turo
in legacy format, obviously. What, you thought I was talking about standard?
By the time this card comes out, yes, Turo and Penny will both be rotated.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, screw it. All right, well, there's got to be like some kind of healing, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna break this thing. Is there anything to get anything out of the prizes? Isn't there like redeemable ticket or
redeemable
something?
ticket, bro.
Yeah, you're chill. Oh, this deck's broken for sure. You've got redeemable ticket, 440 damage for 1 energy.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be it. Yeah.
And you could like do it on turn 2.
Now just give me like an item lock. Give me like an item lock Vileplume too.
That would be good. Yeah. What's the one? There's the other grass stage 2 that can shuffle your opponent's hand in every turn. Remember, it's like shuffle, draw 4 or something every turn. I forget
I don't know what you're talking about.
Forget the Pokemon. Anyway, we'll do some more labbing with this card and come back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be an episode of Deck Busters for sure.
Let us know, guys, in the comments whether or not the Beedrill is the truth. And the fire weakness is not bad. Like, what is hitting for 310? Reliably. I guess Lucario.
Bro, the card's broken. Who cares? You trade favorably with Lucario all day. They put a Lucario in your face. You're like, okay, 3 prizes. Thank you.
Dude, imagine if we got Revitalizer.
And well, you've got the rod,
cool.
A-Spec.
Yeah, the Max Rod.
Yeah, Max Rod. Yeah.
Fun stuff. Anyway, that is a discussion for another time. That is going to do it for this episode. Any final thoughts there, Andrew, on what we covered today?
Nah, dude. Beedrill's broken. I'm a B-head.
B-head. B's on my head, but don't call me a B-head. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys all so much for listening. If you want to catch us and interact with our content more, you can find us over on X, the Everything app, at Real John Walter for myself, at Enjoy Friend for Andrew, and at Tag Team Pokemon for the podcast. But thank you all so much for listening. Please engage, like, comment, subscribe if you are able, and we will catch you next week.